Welcome back to Falkut Figures, where today I'm going to be doing another WWF Hasbro figure unboxing, and this one is going to be looking at Series 10, also known as the Dark Blue Card series. So the Dark Blue Cards, the second to last series, Series 10, a really interesting series in my opinion. There's a wide spectrum amongst the sort of range of collectible, hard to get, rare, commons, all the way. Series 10 is probably the most extreme from one end of to the other. You know, it was the series that was followed by the green cards. They're obviously all incredibly rare, incredibly hard to get. But there are some in this series that are very difficult, some that are becoming more difficult to get, and there are some that are amongst the easiest, the most readily available, the most common in the Hasbro series. So I've got the Bushwhackers and the Rockers on the table today because this is obviously their tag team set releases, but they were both re-released to varying different extents in this series. So Luke and Butch, they were re-released as single issue figures, but as very much still part of the Bushwhackers tag team. And by this stage, Sean and Marty had broken up, and so they had their individual sort of singles run figures released. It's actually the second and third for Sean as a singles guy, but it was Marty's first single figure. So, as I said, the series has got some really common, really easy to find guys. One of them in particular is this boy right here. This is Samu of the Head Shrinkers. He's one of the guys who has always been easy to get. Has always been really readily available. But so is his partner, so is Fatu, who also went on to become Rikishi, as anyone who follows WWF or WWE knows. Rikishi Fatu was one of the Head Shrinkers. He was out in the Blue Card series as well, alongside Samu. I picked up Samu for next to nothing, and I thought I'll get a Fatu as well. I'll include them in my tag teams, Hasbro tag team video. But Fatu is one of those guys that at the moment, the price for him has just gone mental. He's gone through the roof. Really surprised by that actually, because his partner Samu has kind of stayed where he is. So it must be the Rikishi factor. It must be the fact that he went on to have a singles run afterwards. But yeah, Fatu is really hard to come by. So unfortunately, they didn't make the tag team video because I've not got my hands on a Fatu yet. But here's Samu, and he's going to get opened up in the Blue Card series vid. Here we go. So, one of my Bushwhackers is falling over in the background there. Well, he's really stiff joints. Here's Samu, one of the Head Shrinkers. Another jumper. Not the best move that Hasbro ever gave these figures, but still appropriate enough. I mean, he's no Jimmy Snuka, but he comes from that sort of Samoan heritage, and those guys did like to fly off the top rope a lot. So we'll give him that. I don't really know what Samu did afterwards. I don't really know if he had any sort of other incarnations. Obviously, Fatu, he was a Sultan for a while, and then he went on to become Rikishi, as I've already said. But I don't think this guy ever done much else. I don't remember ever seeing him before. But this is the first time I've ever had one of the head shrinkers as a Hasbro. Obviously, really, I've always regarded them as being common, being the cheapest ones to pick up, and as such not really giving them much time. But he's actually decent. I mean, I didn't know before that they have this sort of detail on the legs. He's got Samoa down one side, and the other side he's got a palm tree. On the branch of the palm tree it says, or the trunk side of the palm tree it says Samu. So presumably Fatu has the same with his name on the other side, which would mean they are differently detailed. They're not just the same body with different heads kind of thing. But yeah, glad to have him. I always like to pick up one that I never had, and he's probably better than I thought. His face is pretty decent as well. Yeah, I think he's a good addition. I'll take him, happy with him. See if I can get my Bushwhackers to stand back up. Right, stay there, bud. Here we go. Stick Samu in the middle. So, next one. This one is a bit of an interesting one. I bought this guy as part of a job lot. I bought a lot of carded Hasbro figures all at one time, and my intention for some of them, because there were some really good ones, like really rare, really hard to find ones in that job lot. So my intentions for some of them were to get them graded and to try and move them on to generate a bit of money to buy some more that I can unbox, and so on and so on. But I did kind of think from the start I'll probably open up Gonzalez. Ruining the surprise here. Giant Gonzalez, I'll probably open him up because he's not that difficult to get. He's not that hard to find. And when the job lot arrived, I was thinking, yeah, I'll probably open up Gonzalez still. He'll probably be part of my video. But he arrived in a box like this, with his bubble completely separate. I don't think I've been done. I don't think I've been swindled. I think what's happened is it's just the way that they've been packed. It's happened to me before, to be honest. When the bubble comes off completely clean like that, you kind of understand that that's just been knocked around in the box. So I think it is a new figure. I think it is a brand new mental card. And the other guys that were in the package, there was 5 figures in total that I bought from this guy as part of this job lot. The rest are fine, but this one kind of came off. So I didn't think too much of it because I thought in my head I was going to unbox him anyway. So I was happy enough. But you know, it was an eBay purchase. I got in touch with him and I said, look, just to let you know, this has arrived like this. It wasn't really very well packed. This is probably why it's happened. And he sent me a partial refund. So I was happy. I mean, I did go back and forth whether or not I should do that, because I thought, well, you're going to open them up anyway, so what's the issue? But yeah, I got a partial refund, so all good, and a little bit of money back as well. So not much of an unboxing this time. Just lift the bubble off, and here he is. Here is the Giant Gonzalez. So came into the WWF as a sort of opponent for the Undertaker. I think that's basically all he did, is he came in and he took on the Undertaker, and he didn't do much else, and he was a bit of a kind of a walking punchline, I think, because just his outfit, his gimmick, everything was just ridiculous, and I don't think he was a particularly good wrestler. From everything I hear from people that do shoot interviews and things on WWF at the time, they all kind of say he was a really nice guy, and apparently he was a really good basketball player. I mean, you would think he would be at the height he was. He was like 7 feet tall, legitimately. But I think he was Argentinian or Chilean or something, South American anyway. I think he may have played international basketball. But anyway, as far as a figure, this is a terrible figure. He's got this move. I haven't opened up a Hasbro figure with this move yet. I think there's only Ultimate Warrior and Skinner that have it, where like you pull an arm up and the foot comes down. Like it's terrible. I mean, or are you meant? I think you're meant to pull the arm up to make them stomp. I don't think you're meant to push their foot in to make their arms go wild. But it's not a very good figure. And this, I kind of touched on this in a previous video when I unboxed Andre the Giant. When I looked at him closely, Andre is a little bit taller, but I feel like he should be taller. I feel like he should be a lot bigger than the rest of the Hasbro guys. And Gonzalez, 100%. I mean, this guy was 7 foot tall. And to stand next to the other Hasbros, and he's just a tiny little bit. I mean, you know, there's next to, I mean, Shawn Michaels, is he even 6 foot? I don't know, but this guy, he should be like a third bigger than what he is. So I'm disappointed with the height of Gonzalez, as I was with Andre. But I suppose it's kind of in keeping with the series, because the taller guys weren't that much taller. The guys that were taller in real life weren't that much taller in the series. So. Yeah, there's Gonzalez. I need him. I need to tick him off the list, but I'm not that excited about having him. Even although I didn't have him before, like when I was younger, I'm not that bothered that I've got him now, because it's a terrible move. It's a terrible look. If nothing else, I mean, the only thing he's got going for him is the kind of nostalgia, novelty factor of remember that horrendous wrestler back in the 90s. But anyway, he's another one ticked off. But yeah, so. And here is the kind of the headline act, I suppose, if you like, from the Blue Car series. Anyone that touches it, that follows it, sorry, I touched on it at the start of the video. Some of them in this series are insanely expensive. Sean's singles release guys from the Blue Cards are really, really difficult to get hold of, as are Razor Ramon's. It used to be that the variants, so that was Sean in the black tights and Razor in the purple vest and tights, they were the difficult ones to get, but now it just seems like either one. To explain, Both Razor and Sean came out in the yellow card series. They were re-released in the same gear, the same apparel for the blue cards, but there was also an alternate, like a separate colour scheme for both Razor and Sean in the blue cards. So they do have 2 figures each in the series. And yeah, they were always traditionally the harder ones to get, but now it's anything on a blue card is really difficult. I believe that the original plan was for they were to be mail-aways or something, but I don't know 100%. I've heard rumours that they were going to be mail-aways and then they binned that because that was kind of going out of fashion or something like that. But they were just chucked into the blue card series, and those guys are really expensive. So it's not a bushwhacker, it's not a head shrinker. We've already seen Gonzalez. It's not Razor or Sean. Only person it can be is Marty Jannetty. So, like his tag team partner Sean, he is a difficult one to get these days. This one's not in the best of condition at all. It was the cheapest one I could find online. I thought I was getting a really good deal. I knew it wasn't going to be in great condition, but when it arrived, it wasn't in the condition that I thought it was going to be. It had this crack, I don't know if you can see that, like a crack at the top of the bubble. And that's because it was posted in an envelope, which, again, I'm taking it off the card, so I'm not hugely concerned. But I just think that people that are selling these need to show a bit more respect to the people that are buying them. You know, they need to say, take care when they're posting it, especially when some of the prices are being sold at. This guy was shipped in an envelope. So I got in touch and said, look, this is ridiculous. You've posted this in an envelope internationally. And they gave me a full refund. So Marty Jannetty is a free addition to my Hasbro collection, which I'm delighted with. I was happy with him at the price I paid for him. I can't remember what it was. I don't think it was 50. It was not quite 50. But I got a full refund. So he's free. So no issues at all opening him up. And here he is. This Marty is awesome. I mean, I think the other Marty is quite good as well. It is a different head sculpt looking at him. But this may well be my favourite move of all the Hasbros. This move, it's like the Macho Man Series 1 move, basically. I really like that. I really like this figure. This attire that Marty's wearing, that is like classic Rockers gear. I think there's even been some like Mattels that have been released of Sean and Marty maybe in this gear, sort of retro and the flashback series and stuff. So that is classic Rockers. And a lot of people have issues with the original attire of the Rockers, but what he's wearing here, that's spot on. Again, love the move. And this is probably one of, if not the most customed Hasbro figure, because what people will do is just take 2 of them, take the head off one and put Sean's head on it and make the Rockers, because that is a much better Rockers tag team than what we actually got in the tag team series for a variety of reasons. I mean, the moves are better, the look is better. They would just be better Rockers. But yeah, and as I've said before in a previous video, Marty was one of my absolute favourites when I was growing up. I loved Marty when he was in the Rockers, and I was disappointed when they split up, because I could kind of, even at that age, you know, and I was single digits at that time, but I could tell what was happening here. The bad guys tended to have the better run when tag teams split up, and Sean was the bad guy straight away. So I kind of knew the writing was on my wall. Even as a kind of 7-year-old, I sort of knew Marty wasn't much longer going to be a big deal. But he would always be a big deal to me, and I'm really glad to have him, and I'm even more glad that I got him for free. He is going to be a centerpiece of my collection, pride of place. The only issue I have with him is that, and this is like a standard issue with the whole line, he doesn't have his teeth painted. And any Marty Jannetty figure you see is the same. I don't understand why that is. That seems like a really basic oversight for me. But yeah, anyway, so spot on. Delighted to have him. Delighted to get him for free. And delighted to extend my WWF Hasbro loose figure collection by 3 more figures. So that's it for this video. I now have, I think, pretty much all the figures I was chasing. So videos will be coming thick and fast throughout the entire Hasbro line. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe, like, comment, share, ring the notification bell. Stay safe and speak soon.